Winemaking is the intentional transformation of grape juice into wine through fermentation.
The job of a winemaker, the way I see it, is to choreograph the creation of the wine in the bottle from the time you choose a vineyard to determine when it's picked, to look at the whole vision of what you want from a particular vineyard and make that happen both in the vineyard and the winery.
Viticulture and winemaking are inextricably linked, but we can consider the winemaking process as beginning with the decision of when to pick.
The decision to pick is really, really important. That's probably the most critical part of the whole winemaking process.
Factors in deciding when to pick include the amount of sugar and acid in the grapes, impending weather, and the availability of tank space in the winery. Approaches to harvest vary, but the primary goal is to ensure that the fruit is kept cool and intact and arrives quickly to the winery.
So we get started picking grapes at about midnight. Everything's hand harvested into small quarter-ton lug boxes. We'll bring them into the winery, weigh them, and then put them into a cold room. At that point, we'll begin processing.
Sorting is done by hand or mechanically using equipment designed to remove unwanted material.
We take the quarter-ton bin, we'll dump it onto a table, we'll go through and have 4 to 6 people hand inspecting the clusters. Then we destem the fruit. We may choose to leave some as whole cluster, which we'll then dump into the tank. For Pinot Noir, we begin the destemming process, and then we go through and we individually sort the berries.
For red wines, winemakers must decide whether to destem grapes or ferment the bunches as whole clusters, and whether or not to deliberately crush the berries.
We aim for minimal crushing of the berries. Having whole berries, we get a slight carbonic maceration effect where we're actually having the berries break down and release specific strawberry and grassy hay flavors that are really pretty in the wine.
When I'm making red wine, it's very much variety specific. Pinot Noir and Zinfandel, in both, I include some whole clusters because I want a very long extended fermentation time, and that's a tool to attain that. Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, I tend to destem them 100%.
There is no single right way to make a wine. Two outstanding producers just as often come to opposite conclusions regarding any individual decision. The key to quality winemaking lies in experience, intuition, and an understanding of how the complex interaction of hundreds of choices can lead to a desired result.